Hop in the bus, cause it's game day. All the boys around, so let's ilche put on.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Fantasy Boys, and today we're going to be doing our edge analysis. We're just going to be going over the fantasy relevant edges to start the year. Today I'm joined with Aiden, Jeremy, Xavier, David, and myself. And yeah, I think we should just get straight into it. Jeremy, do you want to take us away with David Fafita?
Yeah, so David Fafita, he is a extraordinary player in my opinion. He is up there with the top edges. I have had the fortunate decision to get him the last couple of years, and he has worked well for me. But this year, I reckon he won't be as much of a pick, as a popular pick as the last couple of years. I reckon he'll be more of a pod. He is coming in at quite a lower price than last year at 780. But yeah, well, right now he's owned by under 2%. But yeah, I reckon he is one to watch, and if I get my hands on him, I will.
100%. I just think it's a bit hard with the buy at the moment, especially having that much money on your emergency just sitting there. But definitely later in the season, if he loses money, definitely a good buy. We know what he can produce. I covered Hopgood in the last video, so we'll just move straight on to Crichton. Aiden, do you want to take us away with Crichton?
Yeah, sure, man. Angus Crichton, last year was a great buy, but he was very cheap at like 450k. Now he's around 300k more expensive. I still think he could be a good point of difference if you'd like. I mean, he's a prolific fantasy scorer. I just think there's too many Roosters.
Yeah.
Fantasy relevant. But yeah, I think it could be a great pod to start the season.
100%. He'd have to definitely do some more work in that Roosters squad, especially with how many players they've lost. You can definitely bank on some good scores. We know he's got the upsides of 60, 70, even 80. You know what I mean? So definitely could be a good pod to go with. Hudson Young, what are your guys' thoughts? Relevant or nah?
Nah, sorry, man.
Man.
I guess we'll go to Preston actually. There's been a lot of talk on Jacob Preston. People are liking him. Xavier, do you want to take us with Jacob Preston?
Yeah, sure. We saw him last year. It was his second year. His first year, he was probably a good buy coming off being a rookie, being quite cheap. But last year, being a bit more expensive. I don't think I had him last year. Maybe you guys might have had him. For this year, definitely a lot more. I think he got more potential. His confidence and all that. Yeah. Could be a good pod start the season, but I just reckon he's too expensive. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's definitely some cheaper options.
Yeah, fair enough. Could be considered a very good buy. It just depends on how the doggies go. If you believe the dogs are going to be a good team this year, he could very much
go for the
excel past
dogs.
that price.
Yeah.
But no, pretty good buy.
Yeah.
I reckon he's decent.
Could share minutes with that new guy from the Roosters. I don't know. Yes, it's probably maybe up there.
Another pod option I've been hearing talks about, Britton Nakora. David, do you want to talk us through Britton?
Sure, yeah.
I'll get some stats up.
Yeah, she got his stats up. So looks like at the start of the year, he actually had some shit. Had some bad scores.
Yeah, no, he started slow, especially against
But like
the Bulldogs.
later on,
he was a gun at the end of the year.
But later on, he started pushing out 60s and 70s.
Yeah. And that's all the games.
Well, me personally, I bought him in for that round 11 Roosters game at a price of 634, and he went 34, 36, 33, and I'm thinking, oh great, what a shit buy, and then he just goes out and pumps 55, 73, 63, 69, 73, just goes in this insane run, and I think that's where you'd get out of Britton. Like, I think he is a slow starter. Would be very tough to start the season with, but we know what he can produce, and especially with what I think a good Shark side this year, could be definitely a good pod option. Dylan Lucas. Who wants to take this one?
David?
I think Aiden.
Aiden, sorry?
Yeah, so Dylan Lucas, priced at 672K. I think he's probably one of the top options at edge to get, especially with dual position edge center. Hopefully, he gets to play 80 minutes. I think he'd definitely be a buy. A good a good choice.
Even though he is a bit pricey, no, even though he's a bit pricey, like he's got the edge center duel, and we know the scores that he can produce when he even like without tries, like he's got very good scores in him. Like he's got the base stats, 40 tackles.
I thought it was
45
pretty good
tackles.
against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Game 1 finals.
Came in last year with an average of 50.3. And that was as well like playing center, playing edge, coming off the interchange now and then. So pretty good buy. I would not like turn you away from Dylan Lucas, to be honest. And to be honest, I quite like him. Potentially a pick in my squad. Hamole Olakawatu. Jeremy, do you want to talk us through him?
Oh, Dave. Oh, yeah, sure. So
Yeah. So with Olakwatu, he's always a solid choice if you wanted a damaging second row. I'm just trying to get his stats up here.
Oh, sure. I'll get that up for you. Can you still see my
I
screen?
got it here. So yeah, so at the start of last year for the first 11 rounds, he scored once under 48, and that was a 39, and then the rest were obviously great scores, scoring 70, 54, 62, 57, and then a 68 to finish it off. And he's been consistent. And if you're looking for a solid option, consistent, getting you good scores, I reckon he's a very solid choice.
And yeah, definitely to start the season, I can see him in a lot of top squads. He's just a great player. At the end of last year, like everyone's like a lot of people started bringing him in, and he sort of ended the year slow. And I think that's why he's sort of not that owned at the moment. But I think it was just a bit of a hiccup, and I think he'll be back to his best scoring this year, especially with the Manly side that I reckon they're going to go pretty good. Next up, Beau Fermor, David. Now we know that you love this man. How about you take us through it?
Yeah, bro. I actually have the stats up right here, and if you want to get him, he plays 480. You know,
Yep.
just like Nakora, he had a slow start to the season, and after that, he's produced 50s, 60s, and 70s, and yeah, and actually against the Broncos, he scored 69 and 71.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
against the Broncos.
So that means he can step up in those rival games.
Yeah, for sure.
And he shifted to center a couple of times last year as well.
Even then, like 49, 50, 69 at center against the Broncos, which is impressive as a player like him.
100%. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's got the bye to start the year, but for you, David, you're getting him in your squad, correct?
Yeah, I am, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Nice. I'll send it back to you as well, David, once again for Jaden Sewer, another guy that you've been keen on. Talk us through him.
Yeah. Like, again, he's a pod. Like, I don't believe, I believe that he's going to have a big year. Like, if you look at his stats, he does have a couple of bad games. 10, 19, 38. But every other game, he's producing 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s.
So do you think that
So-
he'd be more of a roller coaster type of pick, where one week he'd get 10, the next week he could get 70?
Not really, because this year he's gonna play a massive role in the Dragon side.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, Isaiah Papali'i. Xavier, talk us through it.
I just want to start off with saying this guy was probably the most greatest edge player to have on your fantasy team in the 22 season. Playing for the Parramatta, he was a gun. I know you had him, Josh.
Yeah, bro, take me back.
Yeah, he was just a good player, bro. And I think at the Tigers, he just didn't show like his true value. And coached under Benji and I think Tim Sheens as well. In 2023, but 2024, I saw a bit of improvement, but he also was a bit injured. For like half, maybe not half, maybe a quarter of the season. But to the present, to 2025, I think under Penrith, like he honestly can show what he's worth, just like he was at Parramatta and was a great coach. I think honestly, him and Scott Sorensen both starting on the edge. I reckon he could play a full 80. Not maybe if not full 80, maybe like 60 minutes with maybe showing him to Ghana. And he can average about 40 points
Yeah,
when he's
40,
playing.
50.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a great
Yeah,
buy.
I think honestly, I think he's a great buy.
A solid option in my squad that I've got locked in. I just think
Yeah, yes.
going to Penrith, like,
Yeah.
that just in itself at 622k is a great pick.
I think the Tigers, he just wasn't.
Yeah, it just didn't
wasn't
seem like he really wanted to be there most of the time. Like we saw in 22 how he wanted to backflip once Madge got sacked and stuff like that. It just didn't really seem like he was the player he once was. But hopefully we can see him get back to his best footy.
Yeah, it's his best footy, bro.
All right. Scroll down. Johnny Bateman, Aiden. I know you've got some thoughts on Johnny Bateman. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so right now I've got Bateman in my team, priced at 596k. He moves to the Cowboys, and I personally think he needs to probably play big minutes, which likely leaves some minutes from a Lorden maybe to play on his left edge, and then maybe he can move to the middle, play around like 65, 70 minutes.
100%.
Which would make him a great buy.
Yeah. We saw in 2023 at the Tigers, you know, they were struggling, but he was still producing those fantastic scores. And even though they were through the lock position, I think he can definitely excel at edge. Since, like you were saying last video, Aiden, the Cowboys are primarily attacking throughout their edges and centers and stuff like that. They like to attack down that way. I think he's a great pick. Just wait for trials, obviously, guys, and see how it goes. Moving on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zach Hosking, Jeremy, thoughts?
Obviously Zach Hoskin was by far the best fantasy player last year in the first month. He was averaging mid 60s, high 70s, playing 70 to 80 minutes on the edge for Canberra, and then that height then shifted. He didn't go as good. He wasn't averaging much, and then he got taken out of the Raiders team. So I still reckon he's one to watch if he plays high minutes. But I reckon if he doesn't, I reckon he's one to stay away from.
Yeah. The Raiders got a new edge coming to the club from England. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but potentially could take some minutes from Hosking. Just going through his stats from last year to start the year, he went 69, 93, 48, and then in round 4 he got a 22, but that was I think he got taken off because he only played 43 minutes that game. And then the week after, 2 weeks after, in round 6, he comes off with a dislocated shoulder and doesn't play another game till round 20. So we know that he has the upside. And for 582k, it is a bit pricey, but potentially could be the risk you can take to excel your team above others. You know what I mean? Let's talk about
Smart.
Howarth. David, do you want to talk us through Howarth?
Oh yeah. I believe that he's a trap this year.
Wow.
Facts.
So you guys agree that Howarth is a trap?
What, Caden? What'd you say? Speak louder.
Yeah, last year obviously Howarth was good for the Storm, but I reckon this year the Storm, the Storm forward pack with Stefano might give some less ball to Howard. So yeah, I reckon he is stay away from him.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think he's
I got him to start the season like this year, like in my team straight away. Just that price really enticed me, but over the preseason, I've sort of been leaning away from him and seeing how my team would play out without him. And I'm definitely on the fence with you guys. I think he might actually be a trap as well. But we'll wait and see for trials. What about Kelma? Who wants to talk about Kelma?
Oh my.
Yeah, so Kalmar, the first couple games last year, he was playing over 40 minutes and didn't score more than 20, although he had a game where played 20 minutes and scored 35. It's more just if he has the ball because he is he can break a lot of tackles, and it's more if the ball goes over to his side because he's very good defensive. Um, he runs the ball well,
Yeah,
doesn't make that many errors. So yeah, it's more truly if it depends where I reckon Ryan Madison plays.
100%. And just playing around with NRL Fantasy stats. If you look at his 2022 season when he played for the Tigers, he played most games at 80 minutes. And he
Yeah.
had an average of 40.4. So that's almost 10 points like above his current average. And if we do see him play 80 minutes, he could definitely be a pickup. But it's a bit hard with like the news about Geimer and Cartwright and potentially Madison as well. So might want to dodge Kelma to start the year, but we'll see. Okay, scrolling through. Finafuyaki. Aiden, do you want to talk us through Finafuyaki?
Yeah, I mean, Finafuyaki at 400k. I think there's just too much competition on that edge spot. Gilbert, Lemuelu, Finafuyaki. I just don't see him playing over 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And last year he didn't have the greatest PPM. Like he'd have some 20-point games.
Yeah, and that was
So
with playing 80 minutes as well.
yeah. So I don't know how consistent he'll be at age, how many minutes. I think you can just wait and see.
Yeah, and hearing reports today that apparently Felice is moving to prop. However, Finafuyaki's been training with Connolly Lemuelu on the same edge, I'm pretty sure. So I reckon he's probably in a void to start the season.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. Scrolling
Agree.
down. Charlie Geimer, like I was saying before, it's really up in the air at the moment with the Parramatta Eels edges. A lot of competition for that spot. I think it's a wait and see. At 300k, if he does get the starting gig, you could start with him, maybe as an emergency player. Could make some easy cash, but just wait and see, guys. On Charlie, Jack Bird, David
Xavier?
or
Xavier,
Xavier.
you're a Tigers man, mate.
Yeah. Got Jack Birdie. He's a very versatile player. He can play many different positions. One of them being lock. He normally plays at centre when he played for the Dragons previous years, but at lock, I'm pretty sure in 2023 when he played lock, I think he played lock then for the Dragons. Yeah, he was averaging like 40, 50 points. So at the Tigers, if he gets that spot, well, he is going to get the spot, but you never know. He could get switch with Pole, Pole, and he could play second row. But if he's starting lock, yeah, and with that price,
Yeah.
I reckon he's a buy.
Bloody must have, in my opinion.
He's a must have, yeah.
No going wrong with that. Scrolling down now, we're getting pretty cheap.
Mm.
Jeski? Should we talk about Gajeski?
yes.
Yeah.
How much is he?
He's
250.
20.
250.
Yeah.
Here he is. Yeah, one of the Broncos boys talk about it, ain't it, Jeremy? What's going on?
Yeah, Jeremy, you can start us off, mate.
Alright, so well, I mean, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, so I'll call him Jack. Jack Jack was a Jack only played a couple games last year when Pia Crew was injured, and he was a very solid choice at for a bit of a pod. His PPM's only about 0.5 and he's got low ownership, but like I'm looking at the stats now, and when he plays over like 20 minutes, he's scoring around 15, and when he plays 80 minutes, he is about gets 40 points, or when he
Yeah.
plays over 70, yeah, he's got an average of
I'm just looking at
34.5. So
his Queensland Cup stats at the moment. He's got an average of 47 points.
yeah, that is pretty fucking good.
That's pretty enticing, not gonna lie.
Personally, I just don't trust him, to be honest, and also Maguire's bench. I think maybe he'll play 40 minutes, probably at best.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see him getting around 25 points, which is like 3 points in value. So
and it's not really worth it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't really be worth it,
Yeah.
to be honest. I could see him get the starting gig though, just especially since we saw Piakura last year, very unreliable in defense. We could see him like he wouldn't really mark his man, and he'd chase players. Like if they'd like run past him, he'd sort of chase them and sort of mess up the defensive line. I don't know if you guys noticed that as well.
Well, yeah, I think Brendan only had a couple good plays last year. One of them being the short ball from Walsh against Newcastle, but he's just too inconsistent in defense. He has a couple good offensive plays, but last year there's only a couple good plays
Yeah.
on the back of Walsh.
It just seems
so,
like he sort
yeah,
of folded under pressure. Like, it seemed like everyone was hyping him up and stuff like that, and it sort of just didn't really work out. But we'll see with this year, you know. Maybe second year syndrome, but a positive manner.
yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, guys, if there's any players that you want us to cover that we didn't cover in this video, that you want information on, just let us know down in the comments, and we'll reply there. Now onto a quick segment before we end the video. I want you guys to give me your top 3 edges going into this year. So just 3 edges, a reason why for each, and yeah, we'll just get started with David.
Well, I'll just say the ones that I have.
Yep.
So I got Bofemo because he's consistent with consistent high scores.
Yep.
Jane Tour, again, a little bit less consistent, but he can produce higher scores. And I'll say Olakawatu.
Yeah, awesome. Nice stuff.
Yeah.
Aiden, what about you?
So first, I think Preston. I think he probably becomes one of the more elite fantasy edges.
Yep.
And then I'd say Papa Lee. Hopefully, he gets back to his best form.
For sure.
And then hopefully Bateman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got all 3 in my team.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Jeremy?
So yeah, and coming in number 3, I got Jack Bird. I reckon he will play a big role in the Tigers. Attack in the middle and maybe on the edge of the center, and then and it'll be consistent. And number 2, I got Isaiah Papali'i. just with Cleary and Yo, I reckon it'll go like good around them. And like and number one, there's no surprise that Daddy David Fafita, I reckon he's just pretty consistent. And yeah, if I was him, then yeah.
Yeah, bro, for
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Xavier, what about you?
I've gone Alex Safe off. Previous years he hasn't been able to start because Johnny Bateman and Isaiah Papali have been playing, but when they're both injured and Bateman doesn't want to play a full game or something like that, or I don't know. Alex Safer comes through. Against the Dragons, I'm pretty sure we lost that game 56-12, but
Yep.
he scored a great try in the first half when we were leading from Jen Sullivan.
Hmm.
And I think he's just a good player and he's just a cheap buy. I've gone Isaiah Papali as well. His form hopefully can come back with the Panthers and it's beside Nathan Cleary and Mr. Ivan as a coach.
Yep.
And my last one has to be probably Kelma. Kelma. Yeah, you've seen at the Tigers, he's playing big minutes in 2022. I think honestly he could play. I don't know. I think he's just a better player than Cartwright, and maybe could get he's gonna get the starting role, but I reckon he could play majority of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if he gets the
Yeah.
big minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's me. So my top three picks, in my squad, I think first of all I've got my number one pick is Isaiah Papali'i. Like reasons I covered before, just going to Penrith, great price, and we know what he can produce. My second pick, very similar to Aiden, unfortunately, but I've also got Preston. I just like that he's got the upside. Like we know he's got big scorers in his game, and I don't believe Canterbury are gonna necessarily excel next year, but we saw even when they were not doing too well, he was still pumping out those great scores, especially in his debut season. And my last pick is Jack Bird, similar to you guys as well. Just playing lock. I reckon he holds the spot. For 365k, he's got the edge center duel. Really can't really go wrong unless he gets injured or positional changes. But those are my three picks.
Good. Yeah, man.
But yeah. Anyways, guys, that will do us for tonight. Tonight's episode on the Fantasy Boys. I hope you enjoyed our video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Really trying to build up our channel, promote it to more people and stuff like that. If you've got any questions or inquiries, please let us know down in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next video covering the halves position. So,
Ooh, good.
yeah, exactly. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.